what's been on my mind. Sick and tired of the 9 to 5 in the city life. Hey darling, we could get out of town, see the beautiful world around, wanna see it now.
Hey you guys, welcome back to our channel. I know it's been a long time since you've formally seen us. We've popped in here and there and we've been on Instagram and TikTok, but I wanted to sit down and make a video and just explain to you where we've been over this past year. What I want to talk with you guys today is a sensitive subject, and I've sat down to make this video a few times and I've just never liked how it turned out, so we just hope that you would just show some grace and understanding. You guys are our family, so we think that you deserve to know just an explanation of where we've been. So let's start back at the beginning. Back in early 2021, I became pregnant with our first child. It was a boy, and I was very sick throughout my pregnancy. I felt very good, but pretty sick, and my energy levels just went way down. Obviously, being pregnant and not feeling well, I wasn't able to keep up with all my projects that I typically would have, and I wasn't able to continue and keep doing new things for you all. Fast forward to the end of 2021, I was induced on December 23rd, 2021. I was in labor for 2 days before I ended up giving birth. I ended up giving birth on December 25th, 2021, and I did have some complications. I did not have a normal birth and things didn't go as planned. I wanted to explain just a bit about my birth because it's something that I don't talk about and I haven't talked about with people, but it is a big part of my story. So obviously, being induced, it wasn't a natural labor. I was induced into labor, and everything was progressing very slowly. I was in labor for 2 days before I ended up giving birth, and during the labor, anything that could go wrong was going wrong. My body was rejecting all of the medicines, my body was not progressing, I just wasn't ready to go into labor. But they needed to start the labor because I had high blood pressure. My labor was extremely painful. As far as the midwives have told me, it was more painful than usual because I had to have all kinds of extra things added in, including a catheter, which is very painful. Finally, after being in labor for 38 hours, I gave birth, and it was a little baby boy. Things kind of went downhill after he came out. Immediately after my birth, I ended up losing a severe amount of blood, and it ended up being more than half of my body's blood in entirety. It took about 2 hours for them to clot me up, and during that time, there was just needles and medications trying to get me to stop bleeding, and I was getting sick, and it was just a lot. After my birth, my blood levels continued to decline and I wasn't able to stand. My nurses were trying to help me walk and I just couldn't feel my body from the waist down pretty much. Since I was severely anemic now, that's the reason why I've lost all my feeling, and it did come back obviously, but I didn't have any strength and I struggled with the most simple tasks. I couldn't even pick up the baby by myself. So I ended up needing multiple blood transfusions and bags of iron, and it was very painful. There were just different things that went on throughout my hospital stay that really bother me and bothered me for a long time after I gave birth, such as just the noises in the hospital. I had one of my transfusions blew at the vein and I have a big scar now. The machine would make this beeping noise, and when I got home I discovered that my microwave sounded exactly like that beeping noise, and I For about 4 months, I wasn't able to listen to the microwave beep because it bothered me so much to hear those noises. I was in the hospital for a week, and once I finally got released, they told me that it would take about 6 months for my blood counts to be back to normal, and it would be a long road to healing, but I was allowed to go home. I just want you guys to keep in mind that I'm sharing as much as I can right now, but it is very personal and I may be leaving out some details. I just wanted to get the gist of the story over to you guys. So our baby was completely healthy, beautiful baby boy. He had absolutely no complications or issues. So we came home. Gordon was a blessing to me. He bathed me and helped me walk, helped me with the baby. I wasn't able to get up on my own, and he would bring the baby to me. So we got home and we're healing, and then comes March. It was about 3 months after I gave birth. I was feeling better, doing things on my own and walking around and getting things done. I still didn't always feel 100%. I suffered from some headaches, just overall tiredness. But we were feeling better and starting to get into a groove with things and getting back into working on the farm. So when I was ready to start getting back into our projects and filming again, Gordon had an accident and he ended up shattering the bottom of his leg. At first we thought it was just a break, and it turned out to be worse than we thought, and he was admitted into the trauma center. As you can imagine, this was really hard on us. We had a 3-month-old baby, and now I had to care for my husband as well, just as he cared for me. So we had to go to a specialist that was really far from our house, and we had to go there every morning. So we would leave about 5 a.m. with the baby and go all the way down to the specialist, and we did that every day for a week until finally that specialist said he wasn't able to help us and we had to be admitted to the trauma center. When Gordon was admitted to the trauma center, throughout this time Gordon was in severe pain, and there wasn't anything I could do for him. When he went into the trauma center, we found out that the bottom of his leg was completely shattered. He had to have a significant surgery. Now he has a bunch of hardware in his leg. He's got 3 plates and 12 screws that completely brace up around the bottom of his ankle. I really can't explain the feeling of just feeling so helpless and seeing somebody you love in pain and you can't do anything. But I understood that day how Gordon felt with me. So it took him a while to heal. He's doing much better now. His gait is very different. He's doing okay. He doesn't have to go back to see that doctor for another year. We fast forward to June, and I was riding my horse and I had an accident. I ended up getting stepped on the side of my head and the shoulder, and I fell onto the shoulder. I was in some bad pain, but I didn't know if something was wrong until 3 weeks later when the pain didn't go away, and I had an MRI and some x-rays, and I found out that I broke my shoulder and had some significant tearing. So when this happened, Gordon was still in a cast and I had the baby and I could only use one arm to hold him, and it was just overwhelming. I'm still in physical therapy for my shoulder. It's taking a crazy long time to heal, but it is healing. The bone is healed, pretty much healed now. It's just the tears that I'm dealing with. Because I've been in physical therapy, I was going every single day, a lot of days at that, so it's taken up a ton of my time. But now that we're kind of in a place where everything is feeling a bit more normal, we're coming back to YouTube. So since I had such a traumatic birth, and then on top of that, Gordon's accident, and then my accident, things just piled up on one of another, and we just needed some time to heal. So excited to get back into the groove of things. We've had so many projects planned, But it was one thing after another, and obviously they kept getting pushed back, and now we're ready to do them. I feel like there's so many things that I want to say, I'm not thinking of to say, but I just wanted to give you guys just the rundown of where we've been and explain ourselves and why we haven't been so active on YouTube. Life can get pretty crazy, but it doesn't stop us from moving forward. Now we've cleared most of the land. We're preparing pastures and grading everything right now and getting ready to build a whole bunch of new projects. We can't even wait to show you guys. I do think that 2022 was absolutely crazy, but it was a beautiful year as well. We have had our little boy, and having him grow up in front of our eyes and just learn new things is one of the most beautiful things we've ever had. We want to thank you all for staying with us and understanding and checking in on us, because although we weren't able to explain before now, those messages asking if we were okay, it really meant a lot to us. So without further ado, we're ready to get back on our regular Sunday schedule, and we're ready to do projects with you and learn and grow and build this beautiful farm life together. We hope you all have a great rest of your day, and let's make this a productive week. Bye, guys.
I never felt tomorrow closing in this fast.